Welcome back to the Colts
Hey,
Cast.
let me do the intro this time. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Colts Cast. My name is Jamal. This is Eric, co-host here at the Colts Cast. You know, we like to bring y'all the energy every single day. Usually Eric's doing the introduction, but I decided I wanted to do it today because my man is on a generational heater right now, and I don't want him to even have to waste his breath by giving the intro. So I figure I'll take the liberty of doing it. Y'all know the drill. Hit the like, subscribe button. Drop a comment below. Let us know how you feel. We got some breaking news coming for you right now. Our immediate reaction to that news. Some of you have already seen it on X. You've seen it on Reddit. You've seen it on Facebook. You've seen it on every single platform, Instagram, you name it. You probably watch some of the stuff on YouTube. But without further ado, in the right corner, my man's about to come out swinging with the haymaker. Say, take over, bro. Do your thing. Let people know how you feel right now.
I just want to let everybody know I'm pretty sick still, coughing up a lung, but had to get on the pod. Jamal, wait, thank you for that intro because I was about to start cussing. I want to prep you. I want to prep you beforehand just in case because
you got the kids in the car.
Yeah, you got your kids in the car. If you got Buster in the car, you got your little Jack Russell Terrier, you got your pom pom. Hey, bro. Daniel Jones has been announced week 1 starter for the Indianapolis Colts over Anthony Richardson. Jamal, before I let you get into it, I just want to say I'm so glad the Ballard Steichen era will be over 2025. It might even happen in the middle, considering if we start 0-4, 0-5, because you don't need them in the building anymore. 7 wins won't save your job. Fans aren't going to be happy. Ticket sales will plummet. Complete organizational failure. You knew you had growing pains with this quarterback, with this project quarterback that you drafted 4th overall, who's had what, 13 college starts? 13?
Sounds about right.
13 college starts. In an era where we're seeing more experienced college quarterbacks that are getting drafted, the Bo Nixes, the Jaden Daniels, who are having much more success in the NFL because what? They got more reps. They got more starts. Instead of letting him sit behind Gardner Minshew year 1, you decide to start him week 1, which we were excited about. We were like, wow, Anthony Richardson, 4th overall pick, our guy. Like, oh, he's going to start. He needs reps. That's what you told us. He needs fucking reps. That's what you told us. That's what y'all told us. Steichen, Ballard, that's what all y'all told us in his rookie year. Quote, unquote, got to get him reps. Second year, complete regression. We got this so-called QB whisperer, Shane Steichen.
Oh, boy.
This QB whisperer, 2nd year regression. This dude tired. He getting hurt in every single part of his body. All these players getting hurt. Joe Flacco taking it like 3rd year, loses the starting job to Daniel Jones. This isn't on Daniel Jones. I don't hate Daniel Jones. I don't want to come off as hating this guy. You know, props to him for winning the starting job for the Indianapolis Colts. It's just he is not the hero for the Colts. He is not the person that is going to save this organization from anything. We're reeling it back in, baby. We're reeling it back in. It's mediocrity city. We got the Band-Aid quarterback. The Band-Aid Ballard era is back. 4 yards average depth of target incoming. Inconsistency. Getting sniped by the grasshoppers while you're running for your 10-yard scramble. Daniel Jones is here. Look, Jamal, this will be studied by the masses. Mismanagement 101 of a top 5 quarterback pick. One of the most rawest prospects of all time. This will be a case study. I'm done, Jamal. I'm done right now. I'm gonna take a sip because I don't want to cough up a lung. Like, go ahead, man.
So I'll be honest, I was not taking pointers as you were talking. I think you handed it to me through the microphone. I wasn't writing down pointers as you were talking, because I knew I wasn't going to touch on every topic. But I want to ask you a couple questions about that topic, about some of the things you said. So of course, obviously we know year 1, Richardson got hurt. a couple times. So do we call all that on coaching staff? I don't necessarily know we could do that. We can't predict that. Year 2, of course, you know what? I think he played 11 games, right? Total, 11 games total.
11 or 12, yeah.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah. But like you said, we saw that regression there for us. They gave him what they wanted. They said, hey, listen, we want you to do X, Y, Z. Of course, us as the general Gen Pop, we don't know what any of that was. We can only speculate about what we have been told, which was just like post snap, all that kind of jazz. But it seems like to me that what everybody thought clearly was positive. While it was positive, it still wasn't enough. And I said this in the last episode. I said, I don't know what behind the scenes they're looking for, but obviously none of us have an inside eye into that and what it is. Now I can't.
What I can tell you what this move signals.
No,
They don't want to put their houses for sale.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what this is boiled down to now. Of course, obviously we know that. I have been trying to harp to you people for God knows how long, since the podcast started. And even before then, to my friends for you all who know me, before podcasts, I was saying the same thing about this organization. It's always been bargain bin, and nothing changes today. Today is just exactly what I would expect as a lifelong Colts fan. That's been through this Ballard era of just how can I save my butt? This encompasses it to a T. Now, like you mentioned, Eric, the hopes is to get, 9, 10, 11 wins, maybe sniff a little wild card action and say, hey, guess what? Just bought myself another year here. That's
made the playoffs, baby.
That's
what first round exit, baby. Buffalo Bill at Buffalo.
This is stuff, but that's the same thing I've been saying for years. That's what I've been saying for years.
It's different if you had Anthony Richardson getting a first round exit. You're getting playoff experience. You got a guy in the building who could be potentially your franchise quarterback. That's how you drafted him. That's how we spent all this draft capital on him.
Sure.
You came in with a brand new head coach. He said, yeah, that's the guy I want. I'm sure he had some influence in that decision. Boom, you got him.
Yeah. It was either between that or Will Levis they're going to pick from. So I mean, not saying that I'm just saying that if let's say, for example, if they really wanted CJ Stroud. If Steichen wanted CJ Stroud just for fun, because we're having fun today, is Ballard going to agree to give up the capital for that? No. So I can't necessarily say that.
Maybe they should have won it another year then.
I'm not saying that.
They would have pissed fans off, but if Anthony Richardson wasn't your guy, you don't just take him just because, consolation prize.
But their backs were against the wall, just like they are now. They had to make a choice.
Steichen's back was not against. He just got there.
Well, you're right. Ballard's back was against the wall, which should have been against the wall the entire time.
Apparently but it wasn't.
And
ain't no
for what it's worth, it wasn't. But we know that theoretically speaking, his back was against the wall the entire time. Now with that, but my next question to that is, at what point do we stop the AR experiment? I'm not saying that it should have stopped today. I'm just asking you out of curiosity, when do you say, okay, the AR experiment is done? Like if they would have
3 years. I love
say that again.
Remember I say that? Like we can't judge rookies like give them 3 years. 3 years in the NFL to transition to the NFL.
Yeah.
I think quarterbacks that's a pretty fine line too, because at the end of the third year, you're looking at like, ooh, am I going to extend this guy entering into his fourth season? We're going to pay him, or we're going to let him ride it out? Like, what's going on? Like, that's what they did with Fields. Like,
yeah.
So I would say like the 3-year mark, like you got to know, and we still don't know if Richardson's that guy. So I won't say that Richardson's done. I think he will get another shot to start a game at some point this season.
Some point for sure.
Yeah, I won't say he's cooked. There's a slim chance that he can recover from this. A very slim chance. Like Bryce Young is like the only quarterback ever who was drafted like a top 5 pick. Well, first round, I think, capital. Where he started, got benched, came back, played better, got his confidence back. Swagger's there. And the coaching staff, the fan base is like, oh, this guy could really be the long-term starting option still. Because Young's play down the stretch inspired confidence that is the case.
For sure.
So
I really am curious to know though, like behind the scenes. And again, I know that we'll never know whatever the case is, but what is going on back there that's so telling that we've now stood in the same spot and said, wow, he has matured some. He has continued. I think his Steichen's word was he has continued to mature. He still knows he has things to work on, all this stuff right here. And again, I know that obviously takes time, but like, what kind of level did they set for him, or what kind of like goal marker did they set for him to where they still feel like, hey, you still didn't get the job done? Like, no, because I even said last episode, I said I feel like they brought in Jones as a joke, as to say if you lose to Jones, then it's not meant to happen.
That's what I thought.
I 100%.
That's what a lot of people thought.
100% still felt like that was the whole reason behind bringing Jones in, because like there's no way you're gonna let Jones get in here and win this thing. But here we are today, and so now I'm curious to know, what were these benchmarks for him? What was so indecisive for these benchmarks that weren't hit for them to say, you know what? Even with what we've seen, even though we know this is Joe Flacco 2.0, Gardner Minshew 2.0, we still rather have that than putting Richardson out there.
I do want to say, before someone grills me in the comments, Bryce Young was the better prospect coming out. So, like, again, like a little different scenario here. To your question, Jamal, I think it comes down to consistency. So they want somebody who ain't gonna drill a pass behind the running back when they got a check down going. One that's not gonna oversail somebody when it's 3rd and 5 or something like that. I think they believe Daniel Jones is that more consistent quarterback, and he might be. Like the completion percentage is probably going to be better than AR's in any season he's ever had. But like, is an 8% completion percentage really like is that going to be it? Like, we're going to return to that RPO based offense where Gardner Minshew kind of getting the ball out quick, dink and dunk. To me, not a lot of downfield shots, things like that. So I think Alec Pierce he's going to be non-existent. I mean, even though he had like a career season last year, but I don't know how this ends up. Like, I'm willing to eat my words at the end of the season if we go like 11-6 and Daniel Jones has a resurgence, like Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, guys like that. I just don't see it. I was a Baker fan when he wanted to come to Indy. I never understood why the Browns are like, got to get Baker out here after we just made the AFC Championship. I never understood that, but I guess they thought Deshaun Watson was a higher tier up. That's fine. Geno and Darnold were on the Jets, cursed, fine, whatever. But I just don't see Daniel Jones having the ceiling those guys even do. Like, I just think after his plethora of injuries, the neck injury, like that affects the spine. ACL, right? He got a torn, like he's had a lot of injuries. I think it's just put a lot of wear and tear on his body. He can't do the things he did back in 2021. Like, I don't. When's the last time he's thrown the ball 20 plus yards? I guess to Tyler Warren in the preseason where he sailed it up. It's just like, what are we gonna see from this offense?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can only assume that they feel like they have a lot of weapons on this offense, less the quarterback position, obviously. And I assume that they feel like with all those weapons, you have so many different people who can touch the ball and do something with it that at this point they don't think they need to have somebody who can launch the ball 70 yards, because why do I need to launch 70 yards every play when I have a potentially healthy Josh Downs, a Tyler Warren, a Jonathan Taylor if he's healthy, MPJ. Like, these people historically in their careers have not been like deep ball threats except for Pierce. Pierce has been the only deep ball threat. So do you need to have a quarterback that can launch at 70 yards to Alec Pierce every play? Or do you need to have a quarterback? I agree. Or do you need a quarterback who's going to get MPJ on those basic little 7-yard dumps he's been getting his entire career he's been a Colt? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, clearly that's the way they feel, but
hey, look, y'all let us know in the comments how you feel, because quite frankly, I'm just like, Richardson's got to fight this uphill battle now. This is probably the nail in the coffin. Might not be though. You know, it's probably like 15% salvageable at this point.
Sure.
I don't get excited to be like, man, can't wait for Sunday football. Daniel Jones about the ball and the Dolphins. Like,
oh yeah,
nobody's saying that right now.
Yeah, no, listen, and I'll be the first person to tell everybody listening and watching. I fully agree with that statement. I piss away thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year to watch this team, and that's what I have to go look forward to on September the 7th. So like, I don't want to hear about how, like, you know, I am just as pissed as everybody else. Because even if I wanted to, and this is a selfish thing, but even if I wanted to go and try to resell my tickets, I would not make a quarter of what I paid for them.
Nope.
So I wouldn't even entertain. Yeah, I might as well go and be bored and do the same thing I did last year. Watch and be bored, because that's all it was. So yeah, I mean, there's, like you said, there's nothing to look forward to no matter what. And unless this team just mysteriously comes out and, I don't know, get a week win one, and you're like, all right, well, I guess there's a little bit of happiness there, and then they continue on to potentially build from there. But yeah, you're 100% right. There's nothing to be excited about.
Can't wait to see the Ravens in the playoffs. Round 1 at Baltimore.
Ready, fight.
Can't wait, man. You saw this was under the Gus Bradley defense, but remember everybody who ran up on us with that run defense? I don't think it's the same this year, but
right.
Boy, y'all seen Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, who's like a 99 percentile athlete? Hey, bro, look. All I'm saying is, fuck Steichen.
All right. Sorry. No, finish your thought. Then I'll ask you my question. Finish your thought.
No, go ahead. I
was gonna say. All right. So here's my question to that. I remember as soon as you said that. So we know Steichen as his quarterback whisperer, you know, or he had his name as a quarterback whisperer. Yada yada yada. Is it no? But is it truly fair to deny him of being a quote quarterback whisperer as a first-year head coach who had, like you mentioned, the rawest QB prospect ever? It's not like he had a Jaden Daniels or he had a Jalen Hurts or a Justin Herbert, two quarterbacks he worked with where they had well-established bases, and he was able to go in and help them out. So is it fair to dog him and say that he's not who he is? Because like you said, the rawest quarterback. I don't know who could have gotten in there. I don't know who can get in there and make Richardson be.
So why'd you pick him?
I wasn't in control of that.
Why'd you pick him then? So Jalen Hurts, I felt like has developed as a passer. Like it took him about 3 years. Like it took him 3 years, and they were contenders. It took him 3 years, and because like Jalen Hurts, like second year, they were just like, oh yeah, I don't think he's gonna develop it. Like he's got to get better as a passer, or he's gonna be a backup the rest of it. And then he did, and that's what happened. Now, yeah, Daniels and who else did you say?
Herbert.
Just Herbert. A little different situation.
Obviously, I know Daniels is elite, but go ahead.
Yeah, JD. Man.
Yeah,
love to have that guy in the building. Anyway, you chose Richardson. You must have had a plan in place. What happened to that plan? This was not the plan coming in. I know you have to adapt and change based off what you've seen so far, but the secrecy of this organization and the flip-floppiness, it's been insane to this point. I haven't seen one happy Colts fan at this announcement. We had this feeling that it was coming because it was just like they were just like like Jim Bob Cooter was just like, oh, I'm gonna leave it up to Shane Steichen. Like, bro,
man said, don't put me on the hot seat. I don't have nothing to do with that.
Like, bro, like, come on, man. And so I felt it in my heart that today I woke up this morning, I was like, Daniel Jones is going to get announced to start it. And he did. I don't know what the long-term plan is here because you're tied to Richardson. I feel like your success is tied to Richardson. Unless Daniel Jones, again, has this revitalized career.
Sure. At
this point with the Indianapolis Colts, which you say, Jamal, you make a good point. You got a solid crew of weapons. The O-line's better than the Giants O-line. The defense, we saw the Bengals defense last night, boy.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the Bengals defense last night. They let everybody score a touchdown. That was preseason, bro. And that was in the first half. Bengals still won, but still, bro, like, so it wasn't Anarumo. So Anarumo's coming in. Defense already looks a little sharper. Got a lot of injuries, but Daniel Jones is in a better situation. So maybe they feel like, okay, if we get some more consistent quarterback play, like you said, Jamal, like we said, it was like one possession games for like 75% of the games last year. Maybe they believe if they would have had more consistent quarterback play, we would be in the playoffs. If that's the case, fine. You're doing everything you can to save your job, to keep that $12 million house, whatever, how much it costs. You're doing what's in your best interest. So I will say, if all of that doesn't turn out to be true, though,
yeah, you got to get the stepping. There's no doubt. There's no question.
New owners in here, start that thing fresh. 2026 QB class. We dive in deep into that. Hey, Klubnik, Garrett Nussmeier, Lenore Sellers, here we come, baby. Like, that is what's going on, because I don't think Richardson will recover.
Right.
Just with everything that's gone on, I'm sure his confidence is shattered to this point. It's just like he needs a new place. And it's not going to be Indy. So yeah, that's how I feel.
I fully agree with that. He needs a new place, and it's not going to be Indy. I 100% agree with that. But especially if, for whatever reason, that this ship does freaking sink at the end of this year and everybody's gone, and for whatever reason they don't cut Richardson, they still have, obviously the 7 for one more year and pick a new quarterback. I mean, obviously you know what that means. Like, any confidence he had at that point is 100% is down. It's out. It's out, because that you're only here to be a backup.
First round pick.
Yeah.
We pick, let's say we pick 11. It's a quarterback. Like,
yeah.
Go ahead and ship him out for a day 3 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Get some return on investment. Let him move on. You've already failed him here.
Yeah.
Start anew. That, like, it's like him reset on the N64. Like, hit start new game. Get a new save file going. Like, I'm not even playing Jamal. Like, at this point, when I say 15% chance, yeah. So at this point, that's what needs to happen. If you have a different opinion on that, please let the crowd know.
No, I mean, I obviously agree with that. Like you said, I mean, at this point, all the cards on the table, they wouldn't have held it a secret had they not known that if Richard was going to be the starter, they would just let it out a while ago, because they knew fans were going to just be in a tussy. So they held us back as long as they possibly could. And then they let it out like crack. And all of a sudden, everyone is just freaking out. And again, like you said, there's so much secrecy within this organization that you never know what's going to happen anyway. But just kind of backtrack for another quick second. I know you talked about just kind of how the organization 100% failed Richardson. But to second that, though, I wonder, like, when they decided they gave up on him, like, obviously you're not going to count his rookie year injury as given up. But I wonder if they saw a lot of these issues from the jump, and then he just, of course, unfortunately got hurt. And then it was just like, okay, well, now this is off our shoulders for a little bit. We have time to deal with other stuff that's going on. Then when he got back in the building from surgery and all that stuff, they may have been like, oh, shoot, this is clearly a bigger issue than what we thought. And then, like, they slowly see it snowball and more and more. And of course, he's a 21-year-old at that time, whatever, 22. So they're like, well, let's try to give him some more time to figure it out. But at some point,
if that was the case, let's say they saw that after year 2 of Richardson. Why didn't they? You tell me your only dart throw at quarterback was a 6th-round pick in Riley Leonard?
Well, I meant, sorry, from 2021 going to 2022. I think 2022, I think they saw a better version of him. They thought probably, hey, he's a little more serious.
2023
or 2023. I'm sorry. Yeah,
2023 was year 1.
Second year. Yeah, 2023. He got injured.
Maybe you're right, actually, because they did bring in Daniel Jones for probably more than a backup money deal, like 14 mil, right?
Yeah.
So
14, 15 mil. Yeah.
They got some insurance. I get, so well, then they didn't catch this in the medical evaluation then. Like, this was all secretive. Like, Richardson didn't really have major injuries coming out of college. So
which I guess, again, going back to what you said, I mean, when you haven't played, it's hard to know whether or not you're going to have those injuries, because he just hadn't had an opportunity to really get out there and And I mean, he's a good talker. Maybe he just sold him a pipe dream, and obviously raw scores matter, freak athlete, all that stuff matters. You're like, shoot, let's take it to the moon.
We're salivating over it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, unfortunately, it looks like, and again, this is not all pinned on Richardson by any means. This organization is a joke of an organization. They've shown you that year over year that this is literally a joke of an organization. And so I think these two negatives do not make a positive. You have an inexperienced, young, immature quarterback, and I don't mean immature as far as like off field stuff, but just like understanding the game, the concepts, and all these things that are going on. And you have an incompetent leadership team. Those two things aren't going to mysteriously they put their fingers together and they become a freaking starlight into the sky, and the universe opens up, and all of a sudden you have nothing but perfection. Like that, it just doesn't work like that. So I don't think either side really looked in the mirror as to what was going on, and now both sides are just like, this is real awkward. This is a real awkward relationship right now. And we can sit here and say, Steichen can say that they had a good conversation. And I think Richardson's a super respectable person, so he's not going to ever be like, forget this organization, I'm out, yada, yada, at least not publicly. He's way too respectable for that, because they wouldn't have drafted him if he wasn't a respectable person, because that's what Chris Ballard wants. He just wants respectable people to be in this locker room. He wants yes, sir, no, sir in this locker room. So they were never going to draft him if they saw that he had attitude issues. And I think that now that at this point, it's just like Richardson has to understand that, hey, the ship has sailed, your time is gone, barring injury, of course, from Daniel Jones.
Or
and at
poor
that
play.
point, or poor play. Poor play. I think it's going to be more injury than poor play. I think that they're going to have, because they've made their decision. I feel like if you flip-flop back and forth, you're showing Carly that you are still indecisive. Like, I think that now they've made their pick, they have to ride this thing till the wheels fall off, unless there's an injury, because you cannot. It's just like making an argument of debate. You got to be either pro or against. You cannot be in the middle, because at that point, it's not an argument of debate. It's not. You're one side or you're not. And that's just the way it is. And I think they've dealt their card and they've made their decision on their one side. You have to ride as the wheels fall off.
What if we start 0-3? You think Jones started week 4?
I could easily see them flip-flopping back, but I really think that, as I said in the last episode, by even starting Jones, that it would be a death wish. I really think that will be the final nail in the coffin death wish, to where I don't think, even if Richardson somehow came out after Jones going 0-3 and he won 9 straight, I don't think for a second that Ballard and company would keep their job, because it would just show, again, incompetence at that point. Even if it's just Richardson on just like a freaking like a FU tear, he's just going crazy because he needs to prove himself to other teams. It wouldn't. I don't think it would mesh well with new ownership now, but I could be completely wrong.
We're about to see, man. I mean, we got a few weeks until week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, preseason week 3.
No starters.
Yeah, so Jones isn't playing,
Mm-hmm.
and they said no starters.
He said only Leonard and
I did see Leonard and Bean, but you said no starters.
That's true.
Starter.
Yeah.
So
my man's scared after all these injuries that happened. They can't afford to have Richardson go down in the preseason game too.
Yeah, Steichen better watch his back.
Yeah,
some
bad.
Crazy fans that might come after him. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this was a fun day. Knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
This will go down as D-Day.
Yeah. Hey, they said those tickets were sold out. I told you it's for that farewell tour, man. That's all this was. This is the last dance right here. The last dance.
That's a dance. They actually won something during that era.
That's true.
Man. How many quarterbacks has it been? It's Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Gardner Minshew, Joe Flacco, Jacoby Brissett. Who am I missing? Brian Hoyer. Hey, bro. That's all I got. That's all
Ballard got the infinity stones of quarterbacks, man. Of just washed up backs. My man just keep adding more to them.
Get me out of here, bro. Can't do this.
That's it for me. That's it.
Hey, if you gotten this far, appreciate you tuning in. This is going to be a roller coaster of a season. There will definitely be ups and downs, but
without question,
it will be. We're going to make it fun somehow. As long as you stay tuned in, we're going to make it fun. That's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. We're live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts, and we'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all take care.
Take it easy.